Okay, here's a weird one for you. What in the world could connect the thrill of jumping off a cliff into the ocean with the absolute terror of a surprise run-in with a wild animal? Well, today, we're going to uncover a really surprising scientific link between two completely different and incredibly dangerous situations.
All right, let's paint the picture here. On one hand, you've got a danger that people actually seek out, for that big adrenaline rush. And on the other, you have a terrifying surprise that just kicks our most basic survival instincts into overdrive. Just try to get inside their heads for a second. The cliff jumper, they chose this moment. They've weighed the risks and are taking that leap on purpose. But the hiker? Man, their whole day just got flipped on its head in an instant. There's no thinking, no calculation. It's just pure, raw survival instinct.
So yeah, that's the big question for us today, right? On the surface, these two things seem like they're from different planets. One's about recreation, the other is about sheer self-defense. But deep down, the physics of surviving both is exactly the same. So let's dig in and find out what that is.
Okay, to crack this puzzle open, we've got to understand the forces we're dealing with. Let's start with piece number one, the intense and pretty brutal physics of cliff jumping.
So, cliff jumping. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? But there's this specific technique, big in the UK, called tombstoning. That's where you jump so you enter the water feet first, perfectly straight up and down, like a tombstone. Now hang on to that idea, because how your body is positioned, it's going to be a huge deal later on.
Whoa, okay, just look at these numbers. This is where things get crazy fast. It's not a straight line. If you double the height from 10 to 20 feet, your speed doesn't just double, it jumps way up. And get this, from 85 feet, you're basically hitting the water at the same speed you'd be driving on a highway.
And let's be super clear about this. Even a 20-foot jump, that's not even 2 stories high, and you're hitting the water at 25 miles per hour. At that speed, water isn't soft and forgiving. Nope. It's like hitting concrete, and your body's going to feel every bit of that impact.
And the results? They are absolutely brutal. We're talking about your spine getting compressed, bones breaking, getting a concussion. The impact can even paralyze your diaphragm, so you literally can't breathe. Or it can cause massive bleeding inside your body. We're not just talking about getting the wind knocked out of you. We're talking about injuries that can change your life forever.
All right, let's switch gears completely. We're going from a risk you choose to a fear that chooses you. Picture this. You're hiking, minding your own business, and you turn a corner and come face to face with a wild boar.
This quote I saw from a hiker on Reddit, it just hits you right in the gut. It really captures that raw emotion. This isn't just some statistic for them. It's a deep, visceral fear. You can feel the anxiety in those words.
So, usually with wildlife, the advice is to back away slowly, make yourself look big, right? But with a charging boar, if you can't get away, the game completely changes. It becomes a physical fight. And just like falling off that cliff, your entire world shrinks down to one single goal, surviving the impact.
And here's the thing. Surviving this isn't about being the strongest person out there. It's about being the smartest. You have to go after specific weak spots to even have a chance. A hit to the snout or eyes could stun it, maybe buy you a few precious seconds. A strike to the neck or the softer chest area could be a game changer. Look, you're not trying to win a fight here. You're desperately trying to create a split-second opening to escape by managing the force of that attack.
Okay, so we've got the fall, we've got the fight. Now it's time to bring it all together with some cold, hard physics. This is where it all clicks.
I'm sure you've heard this old saying, right? It's not the fall that kills you, it's the sudden stop. Well, it's not just a saying, it is the absolute fundamental key to this whole thing. The real damage to our bodies doesn't come from the speed. It comes from how fast that speed drops to zero. The danger is all in the deceleration. And this isn't just some textbook theory. Check this out. Back in 1965, the Federal Aviation Agency put out this incredible report. They literally studied cases of people who survived falls that, by all rights, they never should have. They looked at everything, the speed, the angle, how people hit the water, to figure out the mechanics of survival.
And this chart from that report, it spells it out perfectly. The data is it's undeniable. A feet-first entry gives you the best shot at surviving. Going in flat, like a belly flop, that's the most deadly. How your body is positioned at that exact moment of impact, that is the #1 thing that determines whether you live or die. Period.
And this table shows us why that is, in pretty gruesome detail. Hitting the water feet first often leads to compression fractures in your legs and spine.
I mean, terrible, but you might live. A horizontal impact, though, you're looking at widespread damage, skull fractures, massive internal bleeding. This really makes the physics feel, well, painfully real.
All right, so let's tie this all together. What is the one thing, the one single principle that links both of these terrifying situations?
It all comes down to one thing: managing impact. That's it. Think about it. The cliff jumper uses their body to slice into the water, basically stretching out that sudden stop. The hiker uses quick, precise strikes to disrupt the animal's attack, minimizing the force hitting their body. It's the same principle, just applied differently. It's all physics, whether you know it or not.
So what can we take away from all this? What are the big lessons here? First, you gotta understand the forces you're up against. Second, you have to control how your body meets that force. Third, do anything you can to make that sudden stop a little less sudden. And finally, when it's a fight, go for the weak spots to lessen the impact on you. And maybe the biggest one of all, knowledge is power. It's what turns blind panic into a workable plan.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big thought, doesn't it? Think about it. We all face risks every day. Some we choose, like a thrill seeker, and some that find us, like that hiker. But if the same basic laws of physics can give us a fighting chance in both these extreme cases, it makes you wonder, right? What other scary, unthinkable things out there could we actually prepare for if we just took the time to understand them?